Hey, and welcome to Empowering Self and Soul Esteem Sessions. How are you? I hope you're doing well. So, listen, I apologize because the last 2 weeks I have not been here. I have been unwell and super busy. And yeah, I haven't been very accountable in terms of showing up. So, my apologies. And here's the thing, I don't beat myself up anymore about not being. I spin a lot of plates, but when things have to take priority, so be it. Okay, so now that's said, I'd like to jump into today's session. So it's all about really like the need to letting go of the need to understand why things happen as they do. I've just come off a coaching session with a client, and it's so interesting how we spend a lot of time in analyzing, trying to understand why things don't work out for us. And here's the thing, the problem with that is when we spend too much time in our head, it can stop us from knowing. We start becoming judgmental of ourselves and trying to figure out like what is it that's not working, and it keeps us stuck in procrastination, from moving forward, from knowing that everything's going to be okay. Things can be elevated to a size that is just not necessary when we get into those kind of conversations. And here's the thing, I want to talk, we spoke a little bit previously about trust and the power of trust, and knowing that when we look back, knowing that everything always works out for the right reasons, even when it feels like we're in the thick of something really difficult and traumatic and real. It can be financial, like we're seriously struggling in that moment, and it doesn't make any sense but to believe that that's what's going on. And in those moments, it's very difficult to of course we're going to reason, of course we're going to try and figure out in order to figure it out. But the truth is, all it does is it creates an energetic resistance to actually just allowing that moment to pass. So in our daily lives, we can get into overwhelm. An example at the moment is I'm extremely busy. I'm working with a company as well as my coaching, and to go between coaching and real life, so to speak, and the demands of others in this hospitality business that I'm working with, it can be very busy. And there are urgent demands, especially when you're dealing with the public, and the customer's always right, so to speak. And I come from a very service orientated background, so I want to fix things. I want to get things done for people, and that's my role, and that's what I do. But hey, here's the thing. I also trust that if I'm meeting resistance with something, I don't get stressed about it anymore. I used to. But the truth is, if it's just not meant to be, it's not meant to be. And when we overanalyze things and force things, it actually has the reverse effect and stops us from just letting it flow. And what I see is so many of us get caught up in that, the stress, the analyzing, the processing, the thought process. And what's true is it keeps us at a vibration in a loop that is never going to serve us, our health or the situation. Sometimes it does. Sometimes we have to get into committed action to make something happen. And regardless, it's always better to go into that place, into that action, that committed action space, whether it's creating money or whatever it is, from a place of trust. And sometimes when things don't go exactly how we've planned them, there's a lesson in that. There's a reason for that. That that we then If it's so bad, then we never do it again. It's for a good reason. And it's often only until we look back at what just happened and how that kind of, the avalanche of what just happened makes sense. So here's the thing. When we're in our head, living from this analytical place of overthinking, trying to make things happen, we are in our human being state of analysis, and we're not in our heart. We're not in that place of trust and truth and alignment and knowing that everything's going to work out, because everything does work out. It really does. And if it doesn't, then that's our bigger picture. That's why we're here. This is what we came here to learn. Everything, every single day that comes to us is for us, even though it may feel like really, really difficult in that moment. And when we can start seeing life and the patterns and events and relationships and struggles from that place of, this is what we signed up for, and take responsibility for that, then, we're never going to see the overall reason for why we're put in this situation at the time. The only reason we're put into a situation that is challenging or is a struggle is because it's for us. It's to help us move through something. So being up here, analyzing everything, all it does is delays solutions. It delays forward movement. It delays results. Excuse my phone. And it just delays everything. So when we are aware, consciously aware of that trigger that we have, that pattern, that trying to fix things, like like really trying to force things, and that's our pattern, we have an opportunity in that moment to either go down that rabbit hole, which probably never serves us, and then we just feel stupid or guilty or shameful afterwards, or stressed, unwell, all of those triggers. It's like once we begin to realize that is a trigger, that is a trigger, that is a trigger, that we can actually consciously choose not to be triggered by it, or consciously decide to breathe, forgive ourselves, make a new decision, a new choice, take a new action, and move through it and do something else and create a different result. So getting out of here is powerful, very, very, very important. And being in that place of trust and knowing that whatever is real for us right now in our life, no matter how difficult it might feel, we get to breathe and know that it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. And sometimes we do just have to let go and let whatever is happening play out. And like I say, it's only then when we look back that we realize that we had to do that in order to get to the other side sometimes. So my message today really is about we human beings have all these challenges, and it's all about it's all about realizing and accepting and coming to terms with and taking responsibility for the fact that this is what we came here for. It is. We never came here to just have an easy ride and for everything to be hunky-dory. No. What would be the point? This is what we're here for. And this is what I'm really, all of these sessions are to remind us for the fact that we're not human beings. We are souls. We're having a human experience. We came here to really experience this life and all the struggles and challenges that come with it in relationships. It's all about relationship. So I'd love for you to just bring that into your conscious awareness a little bit this weekend. Like, how How is it that you are looping? How are you? What are your triggers? What is it that goes round for you, that comes back around for you, that you overanalyze? Because when you learn to let go of being over analytical and trying to reason, find the reason for things, it keeps us stuck, it keeps us in the loop, it keeps us in blame and shame of other people, of ourselves. I want you to kind of think about that. Like, what is it in your life that you're not, you're putting too much energy, quite frankly, into, instead of trusting and putting that mental creativity, just allowing, trusting the process. That's where we're most powerful. That's where we have the most use of this mind, this incredible mind that we have. Okay, rather than keeping ourselves stuck in judgment, procrastination, it will never, ever, ever serve us. So have a think about that this weekend. Like, what are you stuck on? Where are you stuck? What is it you're overthinking right now? What is it that you're trying to work out? And instead, just be open to letting go of that endless looping thought that something needs to be fixed, something's not working, and just let go and trust. And give it a few days, give it 24 hours, whatever it is, to stop thinking about it. Breathe. Get into a place of trusting that whatever you're overthinking about right now is not serving you. Meditate. Be with it. Just be like, just let it go. Take the pressure off yourself, off making the decision, whatever it is that you're putting thought and energy into, because whilst ever you're doing that, it's an energy of like need and forcing. And the world, the laws of the universe, this world and creativity doesn't work like that. It works when we're in the flow of trust and allowance. It doesn't mean to say that we don't get to take action, but we get to take action from a place of intention and trust. And sometimes we have to just wait for the alignment to happen before we take action, and be okay with that. It's not always about being busy. Just being and allowing, creativity. It's like, I always remember hearing, people talking about, it's the same with music and being an author, writing, that when the story, the thought, a director, when the story, the thought comes in, sometimes we have to be in a place of stillness and tranquility and just like be open to allowing the words to come, allowing the action to come into alignment before moving forward. It's like the message, the message is coming through. We have to be patient sometimes to intuit the rest and trust the rest will take its course. Forcing something never works. Overanalyzing, reasoning, trying to understand. We can spend years and years and years in stuck in healing because we're overthinking. We're trying to figure out, why did they do that? Why did they? No, listen. Right now on this planet, we are all carrying a lot of ancestral trauma, blame and shame. That's what we're here for right now. We're all here for a particular reason in our global state. Look at the world. It is there's so much polarity. We are here to learn to let go and trust and know that we have it all covered, that we are worthy and whole and complete exactly as we are. This is what we're here to learn, and the sooner we can get about doing that, the sooner we can let go and just align and create and live and connect and trust and be and know that we are enough. We're not in a place of judgment when we're in a place of trust. We're just in a place of openness to receive a much, much higher vibration than that of trying to analyze and understand. It keeps us separate from the world. When we're in a place of trust and openness and receiving and flow, we are at one with the world, with each other, with nature. That's the law. It's the law of nature. It's the law of the universe. So on that note, I'm going to leave you our quote for today from Opening Doors Within. This is for July 8th. Doesn't matter what year we're in. This is one for every single day. It's just a little thought. And, because these empowering self and soul esteem sessions are little reminders. They're little connecting moments for us to remember who we are. This is who we are. We get to trust and connect. We're so busy being busy. Let's put aside our busy analytical stuff for a minute and just connect and be and know and remind ourselves that we've got this, right? July 8th, start the day aright in oneness with me. Then nothing that happens to you during the day can throw you off balance. When you first begin to live this spiritual life, which we all are, spiritual beings having a human experience, there's nothing new or revelational to say, I've suddenly become spiritual. We are. We just are. It's innate. It's who we are. It's the truth of who we are. Then nothing that happens to you during the day can throw you off balance. When you first begin to live, truly live and be in this spiritual life, you have to make a conscious effort to get into tune. But as you live it more and more, it becomes a part of you. It is no longer an effort, and you live in such a way that it is you. You find great joy and freedom, oneness, connection. You do not have to spend half of your time in prayer, seeking forgiveness, afraid of doing the wrong thing, or worried, analytical mind. Let me read that again. You do not have to spend half your time in prayer, seeking forgiveness, afraid of doing the wrong thing, or worried in case you are off beam or going against the stream. When you make mistakes, you accept forgiveness straight away. Sorry about that, guys. Just going to let that finish. You do not have to spend half your time in prayer, seeking forgiveness, afraid of doing the wrong thing, or worried in case you are off beam or against the stream. When you make mistakes, you accept forgiveness straight away and are determined not to make the same mistakes again. You move on until living in this way ceases to be an effort and becomes a real joy. And you know that it is to be, and you know what it is to be one with me, as in the divine, and to be perfectly at peace. Voila, which is everything that I've just spoken about. Okay, so I shall leave it at that. So remember, being analytical and being in our mind never serves us. It keeps us in procrastination. Let's just breathe going into the weekend. Let's take the time to just realize those triggers, those thoughts, those patterns, those loops that we're in, and just trust, come into the present moment and let go. And just be. Because it's in being where all the creation happens. And we just get to live in wonder of this incredible life. All right, have an amazing weekend. And I will be back next Friday. I am back. All right, take care. Have a wonderful time.